address you guys because there's a deranged member here, so I'm gonna watch.
There you have Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez telling George Santos basically what the vast majority of the country would tell him if given the opportunity. You gotta go, man. You gotta go. We're done with this. Like, you're gonna drag this out for a few more months. Just go. Just leave. Go con yokels or something off somewhere. We're not interested in this. But that doesn't mean that AOC is gonna get what she wants, at least not immediately. And also, by the way, that wasn't even the only contentious interaction off on the Capitol steps. Take a look at what happened between Marjorie Greene and Jamal Bowman.
Expel him because it saves the party. The party's hanging by a thread.
We gotta get rid of Biden to save the country.
The party's hanging by a thread. You gotta save the party. Listen, no more QAnon, no more MAGA,
no more CNN,
no more debt ceiling nonsense.
Oh, you exactly listen before. Hey, let me tell you something, Jamal. Not very smart. You should pay attention.
Okay, so it was cut off a little bit at the end, but AOC also took Jamal Bowman by the arm and pulled him away saying she ain't worth it, which is truer words never spoken. But anyway, look, that was a contentious interaction between Representative Bowman and Representative Greene, with Greene trying to get a group of reporters to chant impeach Biden. No one repeated it. That wasn't surprising, by the way. I don't know what she thought her crowd was. She also ended that interaction, by the way, by saying, "You're not intelligent." There's nothing I love more than a white woman from the South telling a black man that he's not intelligent because he disagrees with her. But anyway, in her defense, she's obviously a genius. So if anyone's gonna be an arbiter of intelligence, it should probably be Marjorie Greene. What you didn't see in that video, by the way, Miranda, was that she later did a little mini press conference or whatever to say that he was physically threatening her, that he was imposing and he was yelling. They were both yelling. That's what they were doing. I don't know if Marjorie Greene has ever spoken without it being a yell. I've seen no video evidence to prove that. They were both screaming. Look, if you think that that was a pointless interaction, I'm right there with you. If you think there was no reason for it to happen, that like it makes both of them not necessarily look great, then you can say that. But she said that he was physically imposing and threatening. And then she said, I talked about this in the pre-show, that he called her a white supremacist and that deeply offended her, and calling her a white supremacist is the same thing as calling a black person the N-word, which should never happen, she added. I'm glad that she was willing to add on that little lie, but she doesn't actually believe. But Miranda, what do you think about this little spotlight on Marjorie Greene?
There is so much going on in this story. So Marjorie Taylor Greene is like the worst person you've ever met ordering at a bar. And she asks you if you've had your drinks. And if you answer yes, she tells you that you shouldn't be at the bar anymore to make space for everybody else. And then complains to the person serving the drinks she can't read the menu because it's too dark in here and why is it so loud? And if I was stuck in a room with someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene, and Jamal Brown, I would find her the more threatening of the two people, hands down, any day.
Definitely.
And I do think this interaction, you're right, it was kind of pointless. And I was like, oh, honey, why are you bothering to try? I mean, it's sweet that you think you can get through to someone like Marjorie Taylor Greene. It made you look both a little sad, to be honest, for me. But to say that she felt threatened by him when I didn't get an inkling of threat from that interaction whatsoever. And to say that calling her a white supremacist is as bad as calling a black person the N-word, you know how I know one of those is worse? Because we'll say white supremacist and you won't say the N-word. That's how I know one is definitely worse than the other. I'm not shocked by her behavior or the fact that she said any of these things. Still disappointing every time.
100%. Yeah, and I will remind the audience, if you're not familiar with these classic videos, but so far as I have seen, Jamal Bowman has not traveled to DC to literally stalk the survivor of a mass shooting and follow him as he goes down the street yelling at him. Never seen Jamal Bowman do that. I've in fact never seen Jamal Bowman wander the halls of Congress as a visitor and then crouch down next to the mail slot and then say, hey, why don't you come out here? That was Marjorie Greene that did that incredibly threatening and deeply weird thing. Jamal Bowman has never done anything like that. I've never seen Jamal Bowman not smile. I've literally never seen him where he was not smiling, where he was not trying to speak in an uplifting fashion and all that stuff. Which the only reason I mention that is there is nothing that a person like Jamal Bowman could do that would not get a person like Marjorie Greene to say he's threatening, because it's not about what he's doing. It's about who he is. Either she is lying, which I definitely believe, and she just thinks that it's convenient to say that she finds people find black men to be intimidating or threatening or whatever, or she actually believes it because, again, it's irrelevant what he does. It is who he is that is so inherently threatening to her. I don't care in this case whether she's lying or not. It sucks either way.
For more political news breakdowns, interviews, stories of activism, and me trying my hardest to care about the occasional big celebrity news story, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/The Damage Report. And you can ring the bell wherever it is so you don't miss anything.